Welcome to El Salvador, known as the land of the volcanoes. Now this video will provide 10 reasons why people love El Salvador. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to El Salvador. Population around 6.5 million. Now just for context, we have a map here. We have circled El Salvador. Now Guatemala is to the north and Honduras to the east. Now this video will provide 10 reasons why people love El Salvador. People love El Salvador because of Tazumal. Tazumal is the most impressive Mayan ruin in El Salvador, first settled around 5000 BCE, archaeologists estimate, and abandoned in the 13th century. The architectural complex was excavated and extensively restored in the 1940s and 50s, but many of the ruins remain unexcavated. Tazumal is believed to have been an important center of trade. In the Kichi language, means pyramid where the victims were burned. Explore this vast site and learn about the history of the Mayan civilization through the on-site museum. People love El Salvador because of Playa El Tunco surfing. Welcome to a funky two-street beach town, very popular with backpackers and surfers. Waves on the pebbly black beaches are best early in the morning. Stroll the quaint streets or visit the beach caves when the tide is low. Playa El Tunco is popular with Salvadorians as well as travelers and is always packed on weekends. Don't miss the stunning sunsets every evening. And a tip is that there's amazing views from the Hotel Monkey Lala. At night, the bars are fabulously upbeat and the crowd can get quite rowdy. People love El Salvador because of Suchitoto. Suchitoto is among the few towns in El Salvador that still retain its colonial architecture, offering a laid-back ambiance, beautiful panoramic views, and quaint cobblestone streets. This town is one of the country's most charming. One of Suchitoto's most popular sites is the Museo de los Recuerdos Alejandro Codo. Here visitors can explore beautiful grounds, colonial architecture, great views, and classic fountains. Also boasting one of the country's most beautiful and impressive art collections, this museum, open daily, is like a town in and of itself. People love El Salvador because of Ruta De Las Flores. Named for the wildflowers that grow roadside. At their best from November to February, this flower route leads you through some of the most beautiful villages in El Salvador. From Sonsonate, you drive for some 25 miles through Huayatya, Ataco, and Apaneca. Along the way, you'll pass Spanish colonial buildings, towering churches, weekend markets, and great little pit stops for food, not to mention stunning views of waterfalls and coffee plantations. You'll have more independence if you self-drive, but the trail can also be covered by bus. People love El Salvador because of San Salvador. San Salvador is El Salvador's capital city, located in the Central Plateau region. It is the second largest in all of Central America, second to Guatemala City. Despite its colossal size, visitors are generally surprised to find laid-back locals, an easygoing atmosphere, and a relatively slow pace to the city. Infrastructure, though on the mend since the millennium, is still hit or miss, with earthquakes and wars showing their scars throughout the city. From the crumbling remains of the original Spanish colonial architecture to the large gap between rich and poor, San Salvador has a long road ahead. There is still violence in the city, however it's mostly concentrated in the poorest neighborhoods, far from the tourist sector where inter-gang violence is high. One of the most unique aspects about San Salvador is its location. Despite being the country's largest metropolis, visitors are only minutes away from awe-inspiring natural beauty, from gorgeous volcanoes and the stunning Crater Lake to some of the best parks in the country. Natural beauty is always just around the corner. With San Salvador being a maximum of 4 hours from any destination in the country, it makes for a great home base when exploring El Salvador. People love El Salvador because of La Palma. 2 hours northwest of San Salvador, La Palma is famous for being the town where national artist Fernando Lort taught. Utilizing bright colors, childish images, and religious themes, Lort captured the hearts of the El Salvadorian people, making La Palma a nationally recognized artistic hub. Even today, the vast majority of its residents make a living by practicing Lort's artistic style. Due to its proximity to the Honduran border, many visitors choose only to stay in La Palma for convenience purposes. With a vast array of galleries and workshops, however, visitors should definitely spend some time soaking in the town's beautiful artistic heritage, from wall hangings and town murals to workshops, quaint Lort-inspired souvenirs, and the mosaic Central Park. Visit to La Palma is definitely worth a stop. People love El Salvador because of Lake Ilopango. What used to be a volcano 1,500 years ago is now a blue expanse of fresh water in central El Salvador. At an altitude of 1,500 feet, edged by towering cliffs, it is much loved by divers and boating enthusiasts. An eruption sometime between 4:10 and 5:35 shattered the cone, killing and displacing hundreds of thousands of people for miles around. The bowl-like caldera that remains filled to form the 28-square-mile Lake Ilopango. Travelers are bewitched by its serene beauty, and locals dive for fish in waters that fall away at 787 feet and more. People love El Salvador because of Montecristo National Park. This national park is nature with the volume turned up to 11. From the highest peak at 8,000 feet to the lowest valleys, it looks like a long-lost world with dense canopy of oaks and laurel trees soaring up to 100 meters above, and mushrooms and mosses running rampant across the forest floor. And yet you can visit easily as part of a tour. You might glimpse the rare likes of a puma, an anteater, spider monkeys, and coyotes. Even if you don't, sightings of squirrels and porcupines, black shoe mice, and white-tailed deers are common. All of that and 300 bird species, including green toucans and white-faced quails. Keep your eyes peeled. People love El Salvador because of Santa Ana. The second largest city in El Salvador, Santa Ana offers visitors an urban appeal with a slightly more tranquil environment when compared to San Salvador. Its early 20th century neo-Gothic cathedral, elaborately decorated theater, and picturesque main square have won the attention of tourists, making Santa Ana a worthwhile day trip. For those seeking a more in-depth experience in Santa Ana, the aforementioned theater is a stunning visit both inside and out, and still holds the occasional live performance. If you're a lover of the arts, be sure to check its schedule when in town. People love El Salvador because of Santa Ana Volcano. If you find yourself backpacking in El Salvador, then you probably know that the Santa Ana Volcano hike is one of the top things to do in El Salvador. The Santa Ana Volcano is unique and beautiful. This volcano has a stunning crater lake at the top in the crater. It's a beautiful green-blue color, and you have to see it to believe it. It's filled with sulfur, so no swimming here. Sulfur smells like rotten eggs. It's not just a stunning crater lake that's amazing, but the panoramic views of the Santa Ana Lake are breathtaking. You could spend hours up here. The reasons provided in this video are not all the reasons why people love El Salvador. If you've got a reason why you love El Salvador, pop it in the comments section. I'll make another video. I hope you enjoyed the video. Ciao for now!